So how did we get here to this awakening? And where were the cracks that allowed this darkness within the light to be known? So before I say what I'm going to say, one, I'm not religious. I don't hold true to any religion, and I have nothing against any of them, and I see the benefit in all of it. So this didn't come from me. So we're opening into this realization of that we are the self-manipulators of our own reality, and that we have created these fragmented realities. And that is that outer perception of one thing and the inner hidden reality of what that actually is. So that's how we've created these thought forms. So I've created a blue dog, but with my fear and anger at the time, I've created a blue dog that bites like a lion. And I can't see that because I created the pretty blue dog on the outside. Let's just run with that premise. So what they've said is that this awakening, or this crack that allowed humanity to start realizing there was darkness in the light, was when the church moved beyond its role as sacred sanctuary and into the opening reality of treacherous tyrannist. I'm sure that's going to ruffle some feathers. But this was the breaking point under which humanity decided collectively there is a fundamental flaw in the mass cultural blueprint. So looking back, I just had a quick Google search as to when this sort of tipping point or this opening point started. And I know that you can probably go back through eons of history to see different points of this, but this very much had a feel of Catholic Church when it came through, and this very much had the feel of pedophilia. So I'm going to say in the sort of 70s, 80s, it was starting to become more known. And then obviously that's just built as time has gone on, where obviously the perpetration of pedophilia in the priesthood in some of those churches has just become exposed, particularly with the fact that we can communicate so easily globally. So that was the issue, because the safe reality of goodness shined very publicly, very obviously, its reflection of darkness. And that was like this lightning bolt moment for all of humanity to realize we are living in an unstable, dualistic, disproportionately self-decimating force of nature. But we control it, and we have created that. Okay, so we have realized then that our true identity, our true Christ, and I don't mean Christ as in Jesus, I mean Christ consciousness, pure, true light consciousness, had become so distorted that we could only see the good, even though the evil cloaked its shadow. And this was that tipping point. Our humane aspect had to rebalance. It had to sort of step out from this ignorance. And really, this is why we're seeing so much breakdown of reality at the moment. These mirrors that we were using to reflect back what was happening around us are sort of breaking down, and this is that speeding up of time that we're feeling because timelines are collapsing. We're going, light consciousness, collective consciousness is going through all these channels and working out that's not real, that's fake, and just shutting down things. So we're sort of folding in on ourselves to create and come back to wholesome truth. That is what's happening at a energetic level, at a conscious, collective conscious level, to bring us back into our true nature and our true connection with God light. And again, God light, I don't mean that as in a religious God. I mean that as in true, pure creator light, how we arrived here, the whole ability of us to function in a universal setting with every other bit of energy that's ever existed and ever will exist. Okay. Right now, this unraveling is sending shockwaves into all dimensional realms and bringing us back to this truth of substance, the reality that's built upon honor and respect. And as all these elements fold in, the dark nature is going to get stronger. It's going to keep fighting to stay in the game. But the more it fights, the more it exposes itself. And this just creates this perpetual motion for dark to be seen in the light, for more people to awaken, for more people to question, and for truth to have to find its way to the surface. Dark has nowhere to hide any longer, and its exposure is literally its only route out. So as everything collapses, it opens up the new reality. And this is the ascension process that many are embarking on, or have been doing so for many years, or are just starting. And it's the tipping point we find ourselves in now. They've said, believe me when I say, hold on, dear ones. The light is running at roller coaster speed, as it cannot understand or accept that it has been put under this limitation for so long, and it needs to rebalance its state of perfection. So that is happening at higher levels, and that is happening in the three-dimensional level of what we are seeing, where things are collapsing, and the darkness, the horror, the sadness is being exposed for all to see. So the only way to unravel this level of doubt and depth of darkness is to rekindle the loving heart, and that's the creation point of eternity. So, for all of us to really get back into trusting our own instincts, to being good, and seeing, not fearing what we're seeing, accepting what we're seeing, and moving beyond it, and knowing that that is just part of the playground that we came into to play the game. So they've said we are here to recapture the light. We have to be ready. The freedoms that are unraveling are going to bite at the heels of many, because they have not looked behind their backs for so long. On equal measure, don't succumb to the truth mongers. This is purely about finding that center point for yourself and understanding that you need to see truth in the light. You need to be able to see beyond when there's shadow, or when there's doubt, or when there's darkness. Don't take anything at face value in a sense that doesn't resonate with your heart. But you have to know that your heart is not closed off to not being wanting to see the darkness. So there's a really fine line there. And we can only each individually get there on our own accord. In saying that, they are saying that is the best way to get there. You do not want to be forced along this path, which is what is coming. So they're saying, get started on your quest for light now before it comes to sweep you up tsunami style. You will ride the wave. You will ride the wave if you have the current ability to swim in light. And also their last words were, don't succumb to the limitation of what we see as this world format in its current state. The reality of what is to come is astounding to us in a very lovely way, but astounding nonetheless. Be ready for your light to shine exponentially beyond the realms of Earth's creation. It is not safe to drift along your path. You must create it one paver at a time. Be strong and ready for change. The game is in play. I'll leave you with that. Have a wonderful Christmas. If I do not get online in that time frame, I've got a lot going on at the moment, but I will be back in the new year with let's see where January 2023 takes us. Wonderful. Bye.